Today we talk about if ergonomic chairs are actually worth it or if they're overhyped. Ergonomic chairs are designed in a specific way to provide support to the body, reduce stress on the muscles and joints, and are said to improve posture. And this is typically the key point that a lot of companies try to use when selling ergonomic chairs. Obviously, they're recommended for people who spend long hours sitting at a desk or a computer, as well as those with certain medical conditions that make sitting uncomfortable and even sometimes painful. So you can obviously see why these have been so heavily marketed over the last few years. Let's be honest, since 2020, we've had more people working and even gaming from home for long hours than we've ever seen before. So you can see it might be a little easier to persuade people to spend $1,000 on this chair that's just gonna automatically make them healthier from their own home. But that brings up the main debate. Are they really worth that? Do they do what they say they do? Especially when you have some of these gaming ergonomic chairs coming in at $1,700. Do they really fix your physical health, or is it just manipulation marketing to make you pay for your health? Luckily, I spent the last year using an entry-level ergo chair from Respawn. On top of that, recently I've had the opportunity to check out a Herman Miller chair in person. So we'll be talking about my experience with an ergo chair for a year, just other ergo chairs that I've checked out, and even another chair that I've been using as well. I do want to point out too that none of these companies are sponsoring or paying for today's video and have no say in what I'm about to discuss today. In fact, none of them even know I'm making the video. I will be leaving links for anything we talk about in the description, and anything with an affiliate link is just my personal affiliation and has nothing to do with the sponsorship. Diving into the ergo chair, I will say that over the last year, this has been an amazing addition to my setup. I actually do love this, but that's mainly due to the fact of how it physically looks in my setup. I mean, these ergo chairs do look sick. However, as sick as this thing looks, I have taken some time to compare it against my 2022 Secret Lab Titan chair as well. I took some time to switch to the ergo chair, and then I switched back to the Titan. I even committed to using one for editing and then one for gaming, which is personally the setup that I like to use. And overall, the ergo chair is great. It's comfortable with a lot of adjustments. I don't personally feel any better by using it, but it is comfortable while I am sitting in it. Same kind of thing from checking out these higher end Herman Miller chairs. Although I haven't had a lot of consistent time with that type of chair, every time I sit in it, I'm like, yes, this is comfortable. This is a nice chair. But then I do find myself asking, but why for $1,500? So after using this ergo chair for a year and actually researching a little bit more, I've come to a pretty simple conclusion. While ergonomic chairs can be beneficial, it's really important to understand that they're not a cure-all and will not completely eliminate the negative effects of prolonged sitting. Sitting for long periods of time, regardless of the chair that you have, can still lead to health problems, including back pain or poor circulation. And by poor circulation, I mean poor blood circulation. In fact, after doing some research, one of the biggest problems with these ergonomic chairs that are supposed to be a one-shot fix-all is that some people buy these chairs and adjust them to their current comfort, what they're currently used to, which could ultimately be the same issues that they're having in the first place. So they buy this chair that's supposed to be designed and helpful to fix your back and help with your posture and make you physically more healthier. But they make the height adjustments or the lumbar adjustments to not make it healthy for them, to just make it comfortable for their current sitting situations. Now, the huge downside to this, and one of my biggest gripes about this whole health argument with chairs, is when you think that what you're doing is healthy, so you just continue to do it anyways just because it's marketed to be healthy, but it's actually not healthy for that individual person. It could cause more bad problems than good. Regardless of the chair that you use, the biggest key is still maintaining breaks from sitting down for long periods of time, getting up, going out, being active, and moving around. Engage in physical activity and maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's just so irritating seeing so many consumers back the products of something that might not be good for everybody in the defense that it should be good for everybody. But in reality, if you would sit less and be more physically active, you wouldn't even need the high-end chair in the first place. Additionally, it's good to know that there are many poorly made ergonomic chairs on the market that may not provide the benefits they claim. So it is important to choose a chair that is well designed and adjustable to your specific needs. But does that mean the more expensive they are, the healthier they are? Of course not. At the end of the day, an ergonomic chair should have lumbar support, adjustability of armrests, armrest and easy height adjustments. It's also key to point out that in the argument of good versus bad in marketing, that even some of your typical gaming or office chairs come with a lot of these features. So while the marketing is that they don't look like this futuristic space ergonomic chair, and that anything else that doesn't look like this chair is not going to be healthy, in reality, they might have the same options that you need to actually adjust for a good posture. Ultimately, whether an ergonomic chair is right for you comes on to your specific needs, your specific budget, and your specific wants. It's really about personal preference. With any chair, especially ergonomic chairs, it's suggested that you test them out to see if they actually cure some of the symptoms that you're having. But more importantly, if you're having real physical problems, if you're having real health issues, you're better off contacting a physician and going with somebody that's a trained professional if you're dealing with consistent pains and issues. So at the end of the day, while ergonomic chairs can have pros and cons to one's individual health based off of what they need for adjustments, ergonomic chairs are not just an end-all be-all cure to physical health issues. People's heights, weights, and day-to-day activities are so vastly different on average. So what may work for one person might not work for hundreds. I think it's super important to take that in consideration when you are shopping for a chair. But in my experience, your typical office chairs, your gaming Secret Lab Titans, or your new heavily marketed ergonomic chairs, once you get to a certain price point with a lot of adjustments, they are comfortable and great additions to your setup. Shop around, test them out, and see what feels best for you. But if you're running into consistent issues and pains, take advice from a real physician and not just some ad you've seen online.